fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Ready, ready! 60 outlaw?
Mike. That's what I do. Check!
Gone!
Check!
Now!
Throwing on first down. Herbert. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Come on,
one play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
Ready!
They'll run on first down. Hubbard. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You're trash. Mike, 53.
Ready! Shoot!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert steps away to his left. He is going to find Hill here. And finally out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Certainly not what they wanted defensively. We're hoping to hold them to a field goal. Instead, they're able to convert the 3rd and long here on the opening drive.
So not only was it a flipping field position and a flipping fortunes, but how about mentally? You just described it. They were hoping to force them into a field goal there. Instead, they give up the big gain, and now it's 1st and goal. The offense has got them on their heels.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Off the play fake. Herbert. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. Going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that. They might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Let them know.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean,
Here we go.
oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
At the Broncos' 40-yard line.
On the double.
6, Mike, 36. All day, just like that.
On 1st down, it's Hubbard. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Let's go. 36, the outlaw. Mike, 36. You got nothing today. You got nothing. Pick that. Come.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
61, matchbox lights.
You got tight. You got tight right there. SOS.
On 2nd down, it's Hubbard, and they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Got it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tanner Vallejo. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Locke. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time. And that takes us from second to third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it's Chiefs football. First and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Come on,
so
set.
first and 10 now from the 30.
All right, D, let's start. All right, D.
Hit it.
They'll try the left side. Hubbard. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
At the 29-yard line.
Ready,
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, come on, oh, come on, oh.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go. 8 reads.
Go, D. Let's go.
Hey, exit.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56.
From the 29, Locke is going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All day, dog.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun on third down, Locke. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 33.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Throwing now is Locke. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 19. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Locke now to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. And this has no chance. It's no good, well wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate, and in doing so, sent this one off target.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A gain of 32 that time. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Let's go.
Hey, Zoo.
53. Mike, 53.
Tonight.
Set the tone, defense.
Now.
To throw on third down. Herbert. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're still looking at 0 on the scoreboard, and they're going to be hard-pressed to do anything with this field position as they'll start at their 1-yard line.
This almost feels like you're trying to climb Mount Everest because they could put together a decent drive, get a couple of first downs, maybe a third one, and still not even get to midfield. That's a daunting task for this offense.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
56 to Mike.
Hey, Sam on.
Watch the slant.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Let's go
So
now.
a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12.
Let's put that team on the bus.
Shoot.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Tim Patrick, 88 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll run on first down. It's Hubbard. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, They come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now Locke. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Set up. 70. Indy.
Watch the slants. Watch the slant.
Look. Squeeze. Ready.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football.
Come on, fellas.
Ready, set.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Get that ball.
Get it.
Block again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Give him 9 yards on the carry there, a good run. And now 2nd and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
They come out here in the eye. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Leo! Tighten up, tighten up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hubbard. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal.
Crunch! Crunch!
Look at me. Zipper!
If it comes to me, it's me. Check! 53's Mike! Check! 53's
On 3rd down, it's Hubbard, and this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. They find some open field here. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Ready.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. On the counter, Lindsey. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All day, every day, any day. 41 Mike, 41
Bear. Yo, Jackrabbit, come on.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And a throw right sideline is complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Locke now, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Locke now on 1st down. That would complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Here we go. 70, Indy.
Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Hit it.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Set, ready? 60 outlaw.
Tight dog. Kill.
Hard. Big grip.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Ready up.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Again, it's Locke. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Locke now on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Locke going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It's a gain of 35.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his second touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
First down.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Buzz. Get it.
On 2nd and a yard. Lock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Reuben Foster able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
60 or.
Mike's 54.
On 3rd down, Lock, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Mike, boys, 56. Check 56. I'm coming.
Lock to throw for it on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. Hubbard. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. Then he will finally be taken down. But how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Let's pin the mirrors back up.
Off play action. Herbert. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
53's the mic. 53's the mic.
Back to throw. Herbert. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Mike, 53. Mike. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Check. 50. Check.
From the gun, Herbert.
Come on, the ball hard.
He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. From 17 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Let's go. We got this.
Slam.
80 weapon. On the ready.
On 1st down, Locke. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Here's Locke to throw, finding his big receiver Patrick over the middle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Locke now on 1st down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Locke will try again on 2nd down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Check the back.
Hey, Echo.
Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Ready. 60 yards.
I got one. Key to tight end. Hey, we got 4. Let's go.
Locke looks to throw it again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Come on,
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Silver.
Hey, Orbit.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Again, they'll throw with Locke. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batting down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Tim Patrick, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos get 1 score closer. Now Locke again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Tight, watch left. Tight. Get it.
They'll try the left side. It's Hubbard. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd and 10.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Here we go. 36 to plan.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Down.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Big Griffin.
To throw it is Locke. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Locke. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
You're out.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things?
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Touchdown, Chiefs.
Butker now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Chiefs 58, Broncos 12.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1.
You must be dreaming.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Come on,
The
set.
Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Hey, Alpha. On the ball. Gone.
Ain't no such thing as a loss.
Ready?
Throwing on first down is Locke. And now here is another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Touchdown, baby.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Makes the score, Chiefs 65. Broncos
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do it.
at their own 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. A pass there complete to Sutton. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
Let's go now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Get it.
From the gun, it's Locke. He'll get this one to Patrick. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Chiefs, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.